Wow. Guys, we got 500 subscribers. Wow, I honestly can't believe that. That's 500. That seems like a very little amount compared to all the PewDiePies and Smosh of the world, but to me, it's a lot of people. I don't know 500 people. I'm not friends with 500 people. Not by any standards. Whether by normal standards or Facebook standards, I am not friends with 500 people. And I mean, granted, I'm not friends with all my subscribers, but just imagining, like, all 500 of my subscribers, like, watching my videos, like, if, like, we were to get them all together and fill up a really large movie theater with them, that's something. And them, just the fact that they just clicked on the subscribe button on my videos that, are mostly silly and stuff like that. My dumb game walkthroughs where, stuff like that. Or maybe just my vlogs where I just sit in front of a camera and talk about dumb things. It means something, guys. It means a lot. And I know, I'm not even sure how many repeat viewers I have, how many, loyal viewers who watch everything. I don't know how many of those guys I have because, some are just dead channels or whatever, but just the fact that they took the time out of their day to subscribe to me when they could subscribe to anyone else on anyone else's video and they actually found me, just thinking about that subconsciously means a lot. And I think what I kind of wanted to do was do a few videos of sort of a 500 subscriber special. So what I want to do first is sort of like tell my story of how I got into video making, how I kind of got to where I am now with stuff, and kind of explain a few things, because even though my story is albeit a little cliche, it's worth sharing, I feel. So anyway, let's discuss. So when I was really, really young, I thought video games were evil. Like, I have no other explanation for it, but I thought video games were evil for some reason. I think it was probably like some kind of propaganda I would see on TV. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was just kind of like this negative stereotype you see of gamers everywhere that kind of made me think that, like, video games corrupt the minds of the youth and make people evil. I'm evil right now. But I just thought that for some really, really stupid reason. So I never really asked for video games when I was young and never really, wanted that. Until, I would say, I don't know the exact year. I would say maybe around 04 I got some stuff that are technically qualified as video games, but young me was too stupid to realize they actually were video games. I had games like SpongeBob SquarePants Operation Krabby Patty, SpongeBob SquarePants Employee of the Month, and Yeah, I was pretty much a SpongeBob addict, if you couldn't already tell. I've been watching that show as far as I can remember, so it's kind of interesting that SpongeBob is actually one of the people that got me into video games. And there were other games I had too, like Freddy Fish and The Case of the Missing Kelp Seeds 1, 2, and 4. And a bunch of Blue's Clues educational video games. And I think somewhere in there is a Casper the Ghost game that never worked. I don't know. But those are ones that kind of stick out in my mind. And eventually, I decided to get the other SpongeBob PC games, so now I have like a complete SpongeBob PC game collection. The movie game and Lights, Camera, Pants I got later in life. And eventually, later on, I got a Game Boy Advance SP for my birthday. Actually, let me look at it. This very one right here. Yeah. And with it, I got 4 games. I only ever had 4 games as a kid. Tetris Worlds is actually my favorite version of Tetris. Pinball Tycoon, a kind of mediocre-ish pinball game that's not really special. Nicktoons Freeze Frame Frenzy. It actually still has a little bit of plastic wrap on it, if you can see, because I don't know. And probably the most important, Sonic Advance 3. Now, I know a lot of people in the Sonic community will be like, Advance 3 is the worst Sonic game in the Advance series. These Dims people can't make Sonic games. What the hell? hell did I just do there? But I really like this game. I could never beat it as a kid. In fact, I only beat it like a few years ago for the first time. But you know, I really enjoyed playing it. It was a different kind of game. So yes, I did play Sonic before Mario, and yeah, although I do admit that it's not the best level design, not the best stuff, and I have never even gotten the true ending because you gotta do a bunch of stuff. But as a kid, I loved it, and I think it was important for me getting into franchise games like that. Eventually, I think the most important thing was when my aunt got me a GameCube one Christmas or so, along with SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, which is one of my all-time favorite games. Now, I know it may sound a bit ridiculous that this SpongeBob license game is to those of you who are uninitiated. Nowadays, this game has a pretty big following, and more people really like it. But as a kid, it was perfect for me because I love SpongeBob. I still think it's a very fun game to play. It's very solid, and even those who don't play SpongeBob can look at it and say, yeah, it's a perfectly functional game. And, you know, I don't care if you say it's not special or anything. You know, as a fan of SpongeBob, it's pretty much great. And, you know, I later got other games. I really liked, like, Tak and the Power of Juju, Tonka Rescue Patrol, that I actually don't like. Why is that even here? Jimmy Neutron Attack of Twonkies, and Fairly Odd Parents Breaking the Rules. All of which, by the way, I've covered in my channel through walkthroughs or whatever. I don't think have I done commentary? I did commentary on the Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron games, but maybe one day I'll go back and do commentary, Let's Plays on the SpongeBob games, but yeah. And I later got a whole other GameCube collection, which I have over there, that I'll one day cover. But as for now, well, we still got this stuff to take care of, so why not? That's kind of how I got into gaming. That's the big gist of how I was got into gaming. And, you know, from there, I got a Wii, I got some games, and I kind of was able to call myself a gamer after that. Even though I don't play as many video games today, just because, you know, I don't have the time, because I'm really busy. You know, I still will play stuff for the channel, and I play some stuff casually. I've started Twilight Princess HD recently. I only got into Zelda with Ocarina of Time 3D, by the way. So, got into Mario with Galaxy, and later Galaxy 2, which I love. And, you know, my gaming thing is it's a bit strange also, but, unorthodox, whatever. Which may also lead me to other things I got into. Television shows, I got into that because of SpongeBob, because it was like my favorite show as a kid. And other Nickelodeon shows like Fairly Odd Parents and Jimmy Neutron and Avatar: The Last Airbender. Oh god, I love Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's maybe like my favorite cartoon show of all time. I may even dare say, with Legend of Korra, which I dare say is even better in controversial opinions. But in all seriousness, those are epic, awesome shows that are funny, creative, smart, well written. And they have such great characters. You know, it's a kid's show that anyone can enjoy. Like, I can understand if a lot of people don't enjoy SpongeBob anymore. You know, there's plenty of stuff I don't like of it. But, you know, with Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra, which is newer, great shows anyone can check out. And, you know, I kind of just don't really have much of a story with getting into movies. I mean, I have a Blu-ray collection up here, which if you can pan up, you can maybe see a little bit of them. But I remember the first big time I was in theater, I think I saw Finding Nemo in a theater. I don't quite remember. I have like vague memories of that. The first one I do remember, I saw the SpongeBob movie. Once again, this square cheese thing. He's not cheese, he's a sponge. His cause of me getting into stuff. But, you know, I didn't want to see that movie because, I kid you not, I saw an image where SpongeBob was a wizard, and I was like, I don't like that. I don't want to see a movie where SpongeBob is a wizard, so I was like, can we just go see like the first 5 minutes, and then we stay for the whole thing. I haven't seen that movie in years, but I probably will still like it. And you know, that's all my fandom. As for YouTube, no, SpongeBob didn't cause me to become a fan of YouTube, don't worry. I first got into YouTube because, well, it's a little difficult, but I think I first heard of the site thanks to the Rubik's Cube. Yeah, Rubik's Cube. There was this kid in my elementary school who was really good with Rubik's Cubes, and I heard that he got good by watching a whole bunch of YouTube tutorials. I was like, YouTube? That sounds like cool. So I would go on there and find tutorials. Look, I did a checkerboard. So yeah, I did that, and you know, I didn't really learn how to solve the cube myself, but it looked interesting. And later on, I saw gaming videos The first YouTuber I ever saw was a YouTuber by the name of Super Skarmory. He used to be big. He doesn't really do a whole lot anymore to my knowledge, but he did DS and Game Boy Advance walkthroughs. I saw his one for New Super Mario Brothers, Mario 3. He did a lot of Pokemon. I didn't really like Pokemon up until like very recently, and even then I saw him play Pokemon a whole lot. So yeah, I watched Super Skarmory, and later I got introduced to Chugga Conroy, who is probably today my still all-time favorite gaming YouTuber. I still watch the guy's videos. He's hilarious. His puns, probably the reason I like to make quite a few puns myself. And he just has so much energy with him. He just has so much in him that's just like, yes, I'm happy doing this. And it's people like Super Skarmory and Chugga Conroy that made me want to try doing gaming videos. And I always remember, like, I would always like tell my mom, I'm gonna do gaming videos on YouTube. And she's like, that's great, Ben, you should do that, And for a while, what I wanted to do is do Super Mario Galaxy is like the first thing. But like my idea was to point a camera at the TV because I didn't know a thing about capture cards and all that. And I never did anything like that. The first thing I ever did as a gaming video was Ocarina of Time 3D. So yeah, I had a flip video camera. I could actually probably get it. Never mind, I don't have it anymore, but I took it and in front of my 3DS with like a camera like this, and I just kind of pointed. I'll actually do like a demonstration of what I did. Essentially what I would do is I would hold the tripod on a table and like zoom in on the 3DS screen like this, and then I just kind of turn it on and play the game. The shaky camera thing, because I would shake the screen around. I didn't have a secure setup. I would stack a whole bunch of books here and just like have the tripod like around here as I would play the game and commentate. It was pretty terrible, and I actually didn't even upload that until like a year after I did it because I was so unconfident. I didn't even edit it until like later that year even, because I didn't understand the concept of editing videos, and whenever I was interrupted like a doofus, like an idiot, I would close the video and then just open the next video saying, sorry, I was interrupted. And my parents interrupted me a lot. Like, my parents interrupt me so much, it's kind of annoying. Like, even in some of my videos, whenever I like bring up the Wii remote screen where it's like, or Wii menu, and then I close real quick, that's like my parents interrupting me, maybe like go do something real quick. And it's frustrating, but I got to deal with it, so whatever. And that was the case here. And in one instance, actually, my dad like scared me where I knocked over the camera and it fell on the floor and broke. So like my mom, bless her soul, like went on eBay and got me another flip video so I could like in theory use it, but in reality all I needed to do was finish the walkthrough because I really didn't need it for anything else. And I don't think it works today, but I have a better camera, the one that I have here that you can kind of see that one right there. Thank you for 3DS for acting as a mirror. But that's kind of how that happened. And eventually, what I wanted to do was I wanted to try something else. Eventually, I got my first capture card, the Dazzle DVC 100, whatever you call it, because I still wanted to make gaming videos. I just didn't know how. So the Dazzle is pretty easy. And I learned a lot of that stuff from a YouTuber named Multi-Classic Gamer, who is not the most popular YouTuber. He's around, I think he's around 6,000-7,000 subscribers now, probably maybe even 10. Who was a guy who was only actually around 3 years older than me. Like, I started watching him in like 7th, 8th grade, and he was like a sophomore or junior in college. So, or not college, high school. So for one, he carried a real relatability factor that he was, in my age range, just a teenager like me doing gaming videos. And, he was around the hundreds of subscribers when I started watching him. And, eventually got into the thousands, which I hope maybe will one day. But, I commented on his videos often, and I did talk a little bit with him. It's not like we were friends or anything, but he was definitely an inspiration to be like, I can do that. So I did, and the first thing I did, I recorded was, well, SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, because it was like the game. It's my game, bro. This game's my jam. It's my jam, bro. But, I recorded it, and I used the editing software it came with, which was Pinnacle Studio 14. I didn't know a thing about exporting videos, so like the first 4 or 5 videos are in such terrible quality because I rendered them and I didn't know how that worked. And eventually I got the method down pat, but it was still not very easy for me. And it was also difficult because at the time I was using this really tiny, crappy computer, this PC that was like this big or whatever, that had no processing. So like eventually it took upgrading to another computer to fix stuff, which I got for my birthday. It was a great computer. It died because of it got a problem when I brought it to Costa Rica for filming, and then it failed otherwise because of what? I don't remember. The power input was broken, but yeah, I did that. And alongside Battle for Bikini Bottom, I wanted to try a few other things, so I also recorded Pikmin, the first Pikmin game, which is a game I got into thanks to my friend Edmund, who you may have seen in some of my videos. I love that game so much, I just was on a high of Pikmin and I wanted to play it. But I also wanted to try Let's Playing, because the Battle for Bikini Bottom Pikmin has no commentary on it. I wanted to try doing a Let's Play. And I was like, okay, what game can I do? A lot of people do Let's Plays on games that are, not so popular, they think they could be better. Well, that's why I did Sonic Unleashed, the Wii version. I don't have the 360 or PS3 version. I don't have those consoles. Yeah, this was a version that, at the time I had this friend who I'm not really friends with this guy anymore, but, he was like, we were talking about, Sonic, and they were like, the one with the werehog's pretty bad. I was like, no, it's not bad. It's not great, but it's fun still. It has some good parts, and I was like, no, it can't be. So I was like, you know what? Why don't I Let's Play this game? He kind of watches my channel. And he was like, yeah, there's good parts in it. And, I didn't really know how to Let's Play. There wasn't live commentary. Ocarina of Time, I did actually do live commentary on. But this was, more in-depth. So what I did for this one was post-commentary, where I just recorded the game, and then I did post-commentary on it. I think it was okay. It's not great or anything. I wasn't using a good mic. I was using, the built-in mic on my computer before I actually got a headset. Later on, I wanted to do other games, so I did Epic Mickey, which was a game I really enjoyed. And it was in the Epic Mickey playthrough that I actually got my first headset. I have the box somewhere. Logitech something. It was a good headset, and it's still a good headset. I don't even know what the problem is, and it was some connection issues later on, but I really like this headset. And, it served me through Epic Mickey up until Tack 2, The Staff of Dreams, I want to say? I don't know. But yeah, now I use a Turtle Beach Ear Force X12. This one I bought on eBay for about $16. Works great, love the quality, it's awesome. But yeah, that kind of took me through there, and from there I was doing Let's Plays of other games. I did, I think I played Banjo-Kazooie at one point, Attack in the Power of Juju, one of the games here, was one of my favorite games also. Wanted to do that for a while. I also tried my hand at movie reviews a few times. I remember the first time I did one was this really awful movie called The Legend of Hercules, which my friends were obsessed with because they saw it one day. I didn't see it with them, I wasn't with them with it, and they were like, Benji, you gotta watch this movie. So I watched it with them once, and I was like, this movie is so bad, it's hilarious. And The Legend of Hercules is such a bad movie, but it's hilarious. So I was like, what? I want to try movie reviews, because I got into this other YouTuber named Jeremy Johns, I still loved watching this guy. He's hilarious. He's not the most in-depth videos, but I like this guy's honesty, and his just casual approach to being a film critic, if you can even call him a film critic. So I'm gonna try that. And my idea for this, of course, was just putting a still image of the movie poster and speaking to the microphone saying, The Legend of Hercules is a really bad movie. Every time they want to do a cool shot, they slow it down. It's not stylistic, it's boring. I say don't watch it. And later on with other movies, I tried to develop my own rating system, like It's a Dime, Burned to the Ground from Mega Man X7, stuff like that. Eventually I actually did gain the courage to actually put a camera in front of myself, which was my iPhone camera, and stand in front of something which was right over there. That's the set of my movie reviews. First one I ever did was for Jupiter Ascending, which is another terrible movie me and my friends and I saw because we thought it was going to be terrible, and it was hilariously bad. And from there I didn't really do any until Jurassic World came out later that year, and then I decided, I'm going to do a bunch of movie reviews. My mistake with these movie reviews, though, was the fact that I would see, like, I would want to review every movie I saw because, you know, it was a point that I really wanted to start watching, like, every movie ever, and a bit unrealistic goal, but I was just watching a lot of old movies that I'd never seen. So for, like, every movie I would see, I would, like, record a review of it. And I would, like, have a list on my phone of movies I wanted to review. And, you know, it eventually just became too much because I'm kind of a lazy person, to be perfectly honest, so getting all those files that I have to edit them, you know, those movie reviews were not painful or hard to edit. They just kind of took a while and were kind of boring to do. So eventually, I just kind of stopped doing them because I just wasn't having fun with them anymore. You know, there's some I wanted to do. Like, I did actually record a review for Batman v Superman, but I never put it up. And I have the whole Harry Potter series, which I did years ago. The issue with that is I would record them and just, like, not decide when to put them up. It's like those Harry Potter reviews I did before Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them were recorded a year, like, before I uploaded them. So I'm a year younger in those videos. Yeah, and other things, you know, I would try to review, like, a movie before a new one come out, like Captain America Civil War is coming out, let's review the Captain America films, or Jason Bourne is coming out, let's review the Bourne trilogy. Except for, did I review Legacy? I don't even remember. No, I didn't. But, you know, that's kind of the movie reviews event. I'll maybe try bringing them back in some form, but as for now, I'm done with the movie reviews. As for everything else, though, my channel, when it was going on, I really didn't have a whole lot of subscribers. Like, I should probably do these timelines evenly, but whatever. I remember, like, my first subscriber ever on my channel was my friend. His name is Daniel, and he's actually the guy I'm not really friends with anymore. He was, like, the first person who ever subscribed to my YouTube channel ever. And, you know, I don't know if he's still subscribed. Maybe he is, because he doesn't really use his YouTube account for anything, but, you know, for Daniel, thank you. The first person who was not a friend to subscribe to me, I apologize if I forget your name, but I believe the name of this YouTuber was Tavis0405, something like that. You know, so this Tavis person, whoever you are, thank you for being, like, the first subscriber of mine who was not a friend. And later on I got a couple other subscribers who I do remember, and actually did comment on my videos a little often. Sorry I don't remember them. When I was Let's Playing the entire Mega Man Classic series, I had a couple people. And, you know, I was actually gaining a little bit of momentum, but the moment that I still remember in my YouTubing career is this moment where I was doing a walkthrough for the SpongeBob movie game in the same style of Battle for Bikini Bottom, which was the January after I started, because I started uploading these around September of my freshman year in high school, I want to say. I started, like, actually being serious about YouTube then. I had about 11 subscribers the night when I, like, uploaded part 1, might have been part 1 or something, and, like, I checked my YouTube channel the next day, and I'm at 16, I'm like, oh crap, I just got, like, 5 subscribers overnight. And then I checked later, and I'm like, oh crap, now I'm at, like, 30. And it ended up at 41 subscribers, like, at the end of 2 or 3 days after doing nothing. I was like, oh, what the hell? Do people care that much about the SpongeBob movie game? And apparently they do, because it's, like, my second most viewed video ever, part 1 of that. So, that was a good decision. So, you know. But my most viewed video, Lemon Souffle, Big Prince Rob parody or whatever it is, that kind of has a story behind it. In 9th grade, my friends and I always like to show each other stupid videos, so we had this video called Potato Knishes by this guy named Rapboy Genius, who, it's kind of a really dumb animated thing. Well, this guy makes custom music, and he did this Minecraft animated series where he fused this animation he did, which was kind of terrible, but I'm hoping it was intentionally terrible because I feel bad about calling it terrible, with Minecraft backgrounds and whatnot. And there was this one song that he made called Potato Knishes, where this rat king called Little King John would just, like, bounce up and down and sing about how I love potato knishes. And we watch it, like, every day. It was pretty ridiculous. So eventually, you know, I saw parodies of this video. I saw, like, Death Knishes, The Manic and the Misery, which was just a G major remix of it, or stuff like that. So I was just like, you know what? I want to try making my own parody. Maybe I'll get a lot of views. So what I wanted to do was, like, just parody the lyrics entirely and make my own crappy animation, but the thing is, I know nothing about animation. I did this one animation that I did upload to my channel a while ago, but it's like lost to the ether now because I don't think anyone actually saw it or watched it. So what I did was I just kind of in Photoshop made these dumb stills of Little King John like thing that I called Big Prince Rob, because why not? And you know, I uploaded it and crap, that thing got quite a few views. And then the camera will also run out of space. Well, that's frustrating. Honestly, I don't even remember where I was. Excuse me, I'll be right back a minute. Yes, I was talking about the video of the hand conditioner cliche. Anyway, I did it and I put it up and it got views. It wasn't my most viewed video. My most viewed video actually was a compilation of all the cutscenes in SpongeBob Operation Krabby Patty that I was just talking about earlier. That got up to 40,000 views by the end of its run. What was the problem? I got a copyright strike from Viacom. They apparently still care about this old game that like no one else probably even knows about. I mean, the thing barely even... Does Viacom really care about that? Really? Yeah, that's just my little rant on Viacom there. I mean, you know, I didn't object to it or anything, because, you know, technically it wasn't fair use. It was just me blatantly uploading the cutscenes. Whatever. And, but it was, you know, around the time of this takedown that I did actually get partnered. I was partnered with a network called TGN, and their superior BBTV, Broadband TV, I think, it was something like that. I was approached by this guy, Chris Chappa, who was like, hey, you want to get partnered? And I was like, yeah, sure. And, you know, there were other networks that later approached me. I was like, sorry, I'm already partnered with these guys. And being perfectly honest, I do kind of want to leave this network because, for one, the payment, I didn't realize, they get 40% of the profits. I get 60% of the profits. And I know technically YouTube, it's a 55-45 split also, but 60% of 45%, that's... You know, and I mean, granted, I do make money. I'm not allowed, I don't think by my contract I'm allowed to disclose the figures I make, but it's not enough for me to like sustain it. It's enough for me to get like a new game every once in a while and not like have to go ask my parents for money. That is enough for that, but you know, it's not the most amount. So I don't know, and I don't even know how the contract will work, but we'll see if I can leave this network and find another one. But yeah, that's how that'll work. And you know, it's not that I hate this network, you know, the people have been nice to me, they've been responsive to things, and my payment is on time every month, and it's still a good amount of money. It's just that when I start making actual money, when it becomes a problem. So, you know, this isn't anything against TGN, I just would like more money. And you know, I'm sure in a world like this, that's not a problem. But that's when that happened. I broke 100 subscribers... I want to say around a year and a half ago, maybe around a little more than that, because, you know, that was, to me, you know, that was just a moment I was like, you know, that's cool. That's really cool, because I broke 50, I want to say around the end of my freshman year, and 100 midway through sophomore year, I want to say. But, yeah, here I am now, halfway through my senior year at 500. Because I broke 300 around the middle of my junior year, 400 and around the beginning of my senior year in high school. This is all high school, I'm not in college yet. But yeah, that's how that worked, and you know, it's not really, you know, subscribers are only a number. There's other things, there's like views, which I have about 300,000 video views now, I think, it's something like that, which is also pretty awesome. And I get a lot of comments now. I got way more comments, you know, I don't even know if I have repeat viewers anymore, but it's still really cool the fact that I have that. So yeah, I got here, I eventually did play other Zelda games since I played Ocarina of Time, and Wind Waker is going on, but I've run into a problem because the external hard drive I use with all the files is kind of failing, so I need to get an RMA of it and transfer the files. I'm pretty sure the files are not gone, but... yeah, let's hope they're not, because we were in the Wind Temple, and you know, there's plenty more left. I mean, I played Wind Waker for joy, but still, that's that. But, I just want to take this time to say thank you all for, subscribing, watching my videos, even if you don't, do that too often or whatever, because I don't even know if you made it this far, but it means a lot to me because, for one, it's easier for me to talk to a camera than, it's going to sound kind of sad, but like other human beings, to be honest. I mean, I have a close circle of friends that you've seen before, but, I'm kind of an introvert, being perfectly honest, and, I was never popular at school. I mean, my school doesn't really have the whole popularity thing like all the high school movies do, but there's still plenty of people I don't want to talk to because they clearly go to all the parties when I don't. And, stuff like that I just, am not comfortable with. It's kind of difficult. It's always been difficult for me. And, these videos help me because, it's a pastime, something I'm good at because, I'm never really that athletic except for Ultimate Frisbee. And, it allows me to be good at something a lot of other people in my school are not. The unfortunate thing is more and more people from my school are actually finding my YouTube channel. I don't want them to. I don't want them to see me like this because I'm shy and I don't want that. And, that happens, whatever. There's some people I'm okay with seeing my YouTube channel. And, I'm fine with showing people, like, my stand-up comedy routines that I've uploaded, which I'm proud of. I'm proud that I did that. And, it's stuff like YouTube helps me get more confidence just by doing vlogs and whatnot. So, I started doing vlogs just because I felt like, why not? There's not really a whole story behind it. But, it's stuff like this that really just make me feel good and actually make me feel like I'm doing something. Because, YouTube is one of my favorite hobbies. I'm making money off of it. I guess I have fun by playing video games I like, watching movies I like, talking about them, or just, doing vlogs, hanging out with my friends, talking about that stuff. It's fun. In a world where, it's hard for me to have fun because of school and how much work I gotta do and colleges and all this social anxiety that comes from being an adolescent in a cesspool of other people. It's difficult. It's difficult. And I don't know. I don't really know a whole lot else to say, but thank you to the people who have been there, who watch my videos, and, who support me. It's been difficult because, like I said, my life's not the most interesting. I'm an only child, so I don't really have a whole lot of people, like when my parents are out, to just keep me company. I have close friends who I could talk to. I, have that, and I won't lie, stuff like that gives me more confidence in life. And, there is this girl I kind of want to ask out that I'm gaining a little more confidence to do that too. Probably TMI, but who really cares anymore? But, that's that, and really all I can say is thank you. This video is probably way longer than I ever wanted it to be, but who cares? I'm happy this way. I'm happy with the channel and how it's going. And, maybe it could be a little more focused on stuff, but, whatever. So anyway, I'll keep uploading Twitch live streams, which, oh yeah, if you want a backstory on that, my friend did them for a while, and I was like, I want to do that, and I'm not as popular as him, and I don't do them as much, but they're still fun. And, in regards to other stuff, that's really it. Yeah, so honestly, guys, thank you. Thank you for being there. Thank you just for, just watching the video, just clicking on it. Even if there's some person who just sees a video and clicks on it and just clicks away, just to increase the view count by 1, just thank you for doing that. It raises my self-esteem, and it just makes me feel special at myself, because, being introverted, I'm not very confident in myself. So, it's just a confidence booster for me. I really should wrap this up. I'm really bad with endings of these videos, but what I'm trying to say is, YouTube gives me confidence. You guys give me confidence. The numbers, I realize they're just numbers, but when you think about them, that's when the numbers become more than numbers. They become faces. They become actions. They become dollar bills. Okay, not the dollar bills, but that's how it happens, and honestly, guys, I really couldn't ask for much more. I could be greedy and say, get me to 1,000 subscribers overnight. But, you know, I'm not gonna. Because let's be real here, you know, YouTube is probably not gonna be my career, because I actually, in life, I want to be an engineer in some kind of the sciences or whatnot, and, you know, do that. YouTube is kind of a hobby for me. I might continue it into college, maybe even into adulthood, but we'll see. I still like making videos because I'm a workaholic, and I honestly cannot feel gratification unless I'm working on something and I've achieved something. So, you know, that's what it helps also with. There really isn't a whole lot left for me to say that I might just add in later in post. But yeah, that's really it. I could tell the story of Home Slice for another one of my 500 subscribers. I could do stuff like that, but this is the main 500 subscriber special, my story. And yeah, yeah. Well, I realized I never reviewed 300 for my 300 subscriber special. 300,000. We'll do it for 300,000 subscribers. How about that? Okay. Anyway, that's really all I can do now. I'm done talking because editing this is going to be a beast. That being said, thank you all for watching this video and for being there and for everything I said previously that I'll just drag on the video longer by repeating here. And once again, adios, home slices. This is DJ BenJammin signing off. Not DJ BenJammin, just BenJammin. Whatever.